WBCB presents Pro Wrestling Weekly.
The longest-running pro wrestling radio talk show in the history of terrestrial radio.
And he's obviously Michael Cole.
Call in with a question or comment at 215-949-3232 or 888-922-2149.
Talking wrestling.
Yeah.
Because that's what this show's about. That's what we've been doing for over 16 years.
No. It's about sports entertainment.
And now here are your hosts of Pro Wrestling Weekly, Fearon Derry and Lucas DeSangro.
Will you stop marking out over there?
Sorry.
Move over, kid. I'm taking your microphone.
You're shallow. You know that?
I'm running on 2 hours of sleep. I don't remember what the hell I do anymore. There's the sound of the bell, and we are set to go. This is Pro Wrestling Weekly here on 1490 WBCB and online at WBCB1490.com. Fearon Derry here with you. At least for the moment, it looks like flying solo. Lucas conspicuous by his absence. The Polka Posse making their absence about to be felt here as well, as Polka Powered Radio making their way out, and I'm making my way here. I shouldn't say I'm completely lonesome here, as Charlotte Reese is here with us as well, and she'll be filling in for Teddy Faw on the Country Roads show later today here on this 31st of December. New Year's Eve, and what can I say? What better way to look into the year? We'll talk a little bit of news and notes, although not too terribly much noteworthy, but one rather notable occurrence that happened this past Monday on Raw. I'm not even feeling very slammy-ish today, but we'll also take a look back at some of the memorable moments in 2016, and quite a few things that have happened over the course of 2016. Throughout professional wrestling, not necessarily just WWE, but we'll get into little bits and pieces of them. Going back to January, the first of the infusion of the New Japan 4 making their way to WWE. Later in the year, we would see Shinsuke Nakamura as well as Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson make their presence felt in the spring of 2016. But in January of that year, not too long after Wrestle Kingdom 10, well, it was something that was rumored for a couple of weeks and came to the fruition at the Royal Rumble.
This is key for Roman Reigns. Keep the numbers down. Keep the advantage in your corner. IWGP champion, same as Brock Lesnar. An 18-year veteran, a mastermind of offensive innovation, a star around the world. Roman Reigns realizes what he faces now, and I can't believe what we're about to see.
There you have it. AJ Styles making his debut and certainly making his presence felt all throughout 2016. Some of the other events that have gone on, some of which I have some audio to kind of accompany, and other things that have just occurred as well over the course of the year. Well, going back to the summer of this year, the emergence of one James Ellsworth. That's right. Any man with two hands has a fighting chance. And he certainly showed that despite coming up on the short end against Braun Strowman. It somehow garnered his way into a spot on the roster and a contract. And it certainly brings a lot of hope for those, those underdogs out there. It's kind of akin to about a little over 20 years ago when you saw the emergence as far as storyline and everything else of Barry Horowitz, longtime enhancement talent who upended Chris Candido, back then known as Skip of the Body Donnas, and that led to a nice program with them. Also, looking outside of WWE, well, one of the big stories of the year, without question, goes also back to the summer of 2016, courtesy of one Matt Hardy, and how 2016 basically became broken.
Dusk is approaching. The final deletion is upon us. When it's over, under no circumstances do you resuscitate Brother Nero. Because he must be deleted. Brother Nero, I knew you'd come. This match we're about to have will be your true Armageddon. Yeah, for your deletion. Brother Nero! Brother Nero! It's over! Oh! Damn right, oh This is the love for folks! Brother Nero has been flushed. Official! 1, 2, 3, that's it! Senor Benjamin! No! No! Not check. No! No pinfall, now continues. Brother Nero! Where are you?
This candle is lit to the navigating when the final deletion of Brother Nero occurs. Nero occurs.
Sentient drones and dilapidated boats and fireworks and Willow and all of the insanity that was the final deletion back on July 5th on TNA Impact, and something that definitely had the wrestling world abuzz. Fireworks as a weapon, something I haven't seen and don't know if I would ever see necessarily. And of course, the giant symbol that the fire knocked, the symbol that Matt Hardy had took a blaze to knock Jeff off of the top of the symbol as the end moments of the final deletion. Just so many different things that had gone on throughout that, and it got weirder and weirder, but it was more compelling, just more and more compelling as time went on, and has certainly made the backyards of North Carolina very interesting, to say the least. Alrighty, before we get into some more memories here, let's go ahead and get to the phones here as we've got someone chiming in. We've got Ed from Northeast Philly. Ed, welcome to Pro Wrestling Weekly.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you, too.
We got On Point Wrestling coming next weekend.
Yes, over in Jersey there, right?
Yes. At the OTW Arena.
That's going to be what, on the 7th, right? Their 4-year anniversary show?
Yeah, yes. Bulldozer's promotion.
Yes, yeah, Matt Tremont's promotion. Yes. That's right, over in Williamstown, New Jersey. Williamstown on Glassboro Road.
We lost a lot of people in 2016.
Yeah, we did. I was gonna get into that in a little bit. I mean, you're right. So many names. I mean, just up and down. I mean, across the board. I mean, why not? We'll go ahead and get into it now. I mean, some of the names of those in the wrestling world who left us in 2016. Of course, going back to January 17th, Iron Mike Sharp, the longtime enhancement talent for WWE. From February, you had Brian Knighton, better known as Axel Rotten, an ECW original, passing only at the age of 44. That's You go back.
Mahoney.
Oh yeah, Balls Mahoney back on April 12th of this year at the age of 44. Hayabusa, Eiji Izaki, his real name, but better known as Hayabusa. That hemorrhage that was a complication from the in-ring injury that he had, the in-ring paralysis years ago. Him only passing at the age of 47. British wrestler Chris Travis. That was a huge story over the course of the spring after he had succumbed to, I believe it was stomach cancer, if I remember right, at the age of 32. Blackjack Mulligan passing in April, on April 7th at the age of 73. Robert Wyndham, grandfather to Bray Wyatt and Bo Dallas, and of course, father of Barry Windham and father-in-law of Mike Rotunda, IRS. China, that was a huge one from back in April. Yeah, I know, that's the thing. You kind of go over the list and you're just like, wow, I forgot about so and so. Yeah, but China passing away on April 20th at the age of 46. I mean, that was a huge loss. And Mr. Fuji back in August at 82. I mean, he certainly had a lengthy career both in ring and as a manager. I
don't know if it was this year or last year. Piper and Dusty.
Well, Piper and Dusty were the summer of 2015. That was that was a year and a half ago. I know it feels like a lot less time than that, but unfortunately,
years go by too fast.
They do. You ain't kidding. I mean, this coming March, it'll be 8 years that I've been here with the program now.
Yes.
This February will mark 18 years for the show itself. So, yeah, time is certainly flying by, to say the least.
Too fast.
And then, one other one from September 9th at the age of 87, so certainly with us for a long time. Eric Tovey, better known as Lord Littlebrook, whom you might remember from WrestleMania 3 as part of the 6-man tag involving some of the other smaller wrestlers, as well as King Kong Bundy and Junkyard Dog. I was going to say, the rest of them, unfortunately, are eluding me at the moment, but that's because, I don't know, my brain tends to be just a little bit scattered at times.
That's about it. And a moment of silence for all those dead wrestlers.
Yeah, it's unfortunate to me that it's a part of life. Did I say Junkyard Dog? I meant Hillbilly Jim. That's what I'm sure somebody's already, Mark Kayfabe or somebody's going on to the internet. He said it was, he said it was Junkyard Dog, and he should have said Hillbilly Jim. Yeah, I realize it. I'm owning up to it. It's not the first time that I've made that gaffe like that. I think I confused at one point Bunkhouse Buck and the Blacktop Bully from the what was that? The King of the Road match from ages ago. I don't know. I'm going off on a numerous tangents and things like that. But yes, I don't know. Raise a glass and pour one out to all of the brethren and sistren in professional wrestling with whom we lost over the course of this calendar year. And
with the dying young, it seems like.
It does. I mean, you look at those names. I mean, they're. It's not as bad as it was, but there are quite a few who are in their 40s who passed away. I mean, you look at Axel Rotten, Hayabusa, China, Balls Mahoney. I mean, the four of them were all in their mid-40s. I mean, 44 to 47 years of age. I mean, at least it's not. Like I said, it's a lot better than it was a few years ago when you had people well into their, mid-30s and 40s. And, I mean, the reasoning, some of them are due to their lifestyles. I mean, some of them are things that are beyond their control. I mean, a lot of the cases, you look at Blackjack Mulligan, you look at Lord Littlebrook, you look at Mr. Fuji. I mean, those are people who have had long, fulfilling lives. And then, you look at somebody like Chris Travis. I mean, what can I say? Cancer sucks. There's no way around it, So, yes, condolences to all the respective families, and like I said, hopefully 2017 will suck less than 2016 did in terms of passings and other things of that nature. This is why I don't do those kind of tributary things, because I'm used to having fun and kind of being lighthearted and whatnot, and whenever you have news like this, it's, I don't know. It's emotional overall. And I know just putting some of these audio clips together had me a little emotional, just kind of thinking back on some of the memories. And that's part of what makes wrestling as entertaining as it is that it captivates you in different ways, shapes, and forms. Whether it brings up your excitement, whether it evokes tears. I mean, I know I've one thing that even just putting it together, I was not able to keep my composure just editing it. So hopefully I'll be able to as I'm listening to it here. But Ed, thank you so much for the call to look at the local scene.
TNA is live this week. TNA is live this week.
Yes, TNA. They're still they're still hanging in there with all of the financial changes. I know that was a huge story in 2016. The bringing in of Billy Corgan and ultimately the battle for power with Dixie Carter and
who's actually running that now?
I was going to say I'm not even sure if they know at this point. No, it's. It hasn't exactly been a hot potato of as far as the company goes, but I mean. Goodness, it's certainly been all over the place. That's for sure.
I'll let you go.
Oh, no problem. I was going to say Anthem Sports and Entertainment. They are the majority owners, owning about 85% of the company. Aerolux Marketing is a minority owner of 10%, and Dixie Carter is a 5% minority owner. So Anthem Sports and Entertainment, they're the ones who are the majority owners of TNA at this point, and they're the ones running the show here.
Hopefully they'll get some more backing and more money.
You can. For the sake of the company and for the sake of competition and entertainment, you would certainly hope so. But it's been, as I said, it's been an interesting year that has. There's been a battleground for power over the last 5 or 6 months. That's it's been interesting and cringeworthy at the same time. Anyway, Ed, thank you so much for the call. I'm up against it. Enjoy the last little bit of 2016 here, and hopefully 2017, as I said, will be better for everyone all around.
Yeah, see you in 2 weeks.
All righty, sounds like a plan. Yes, next week. I was going to say, he knows my schedule almost better than I do. Next week, I believe we'll be, pending any preemptions or reschedulings, I'll be broadcasting live from the MFPW Arena down at 541 Mantua Avenue in Paulsboro, New Jersey for the big event going on there, which we'll talk a little bit more about coming up later here in the hour. Got room for more of your phone calls as well, 215-949-3232 or toll free at 888-922-2149. flying solo today, unbeknownst to me. We'll be back with some more news and notes, some more memories of 2016, and a whole bunch more. The usual funness, the birthdays, the Brucey bonus, the Today in Wrestling History coming up a little later. And also, I definitely got to tell you about this. George's Cards and Collectibles announcing their first signing for 2017 on Sunday, January 15th. From noon to 2 p.m., former WWE and TNA star Victoria, also known as Tara, will appear at George's in the Neshaminy Mall. Now, George's, as you know, has 3 locations for all of your cards and collectibles needs, including their original store at 7755 New Falls Road in Levittown, as well as in the Willow Grove Park Mall on the second level near Macy's and Tivana, as well as in the Neshaminy Mall in the movie theater wing. For more information, you can go to georgescollectibles.com and follow George's Cards and Collectibles on Facebook. Back with a whole bunch more stuff here on Pro Wrestling Weekly on 1490 WBCB and online at WBCB1490.com.
Hi, it's Bill Clement, and I hope you can join me for the fastest hour on radio. Independence Blue Cross presents Bill Clement's Hockey World, live from Chickies and Pete's. Meet your favorite Flyers and Phantoms players, past and present, and enjoy some of the best bar food at the #1 sports bar in the country, Chickies and Pete's. Independence Blue Cross presents Bill Clement's Hockey World every Wednesday at 6, right here on 1490 WBCB. For guest and location information, go to WBCB1490.com.
Hi, this is Smiling Lou Powers, here to invite you to join us every Wednesday as we broadcast Sunshine Music Memories live from the Philadelphia Protestant Home in the Northeast. We'll be playing the music that you remember in a setting you will love. Philadelphia Protestant Home is located at 6500 Tabor Road in the Northeast, and Gate Martini and I will be there live every Wednesday, 10 a.m. till noon. Come out and listen, dance, and make some new friends. Sunshine Music Memories live from the Philadelphia Protestant Home every Wednesday at 10 a.m.
Thousands of families affected by disasters, like the recent hurricane, urgently need support. You can help the American Red Cross provide warm meals, shelter, and hope to families when they need it most. Please donate today to Red Cross Disaster Relief to help people affected by disasters, big and small. Go to redcross.org or call 1-800-RED-CROSS today. Your support is critical. We can't do it without you.
He's got the Luigi death stare from Fearon, so he might have...
I didn't give you the Luigi death stare. That's not true.
You're breaking kayfabe.
Breaking kayfabe. Gonna break something else during this commercial.
There we go. That's what I like to see.
And now, more Pro Wrestling Weekly with your hosts, Fearon Derry and Lucas DeSangro.
Are we getting into that controversy again?
I know how it feels, and it's not fun.
What else isn't fun is not knowing the whereabouts. Maybe we should get that trending on social media. Hashtag Where is Lucas? I don't know. I was going to say, even I don't know. He hasn't said or apparently needed to prove a damn thing to me, as he's said on a few different occasions as far as the droppables go for him. Which I know I've got around here somewhere. Yeah, here we go.
I don't need to prove a damn thing to you.
Or apparently need to justify his presence either. I don't know. Anyway, welcome back to Pro Wrestling Weekly here on 1490 WBCB and online at WBCB1490.com. Oh, wow. Fearon Derry here with you. And let's see, taking a look, John from Northeast Philly posting on the Facebook fan page a look back in horror, the worst in wrestling, courtesy of WrestleCrap.com. Good friends over there. I know in the past we've had R.D. Reynolds on the show, as well as Justin Henry, who writes for them. And actually, this is a Justin Henry article. I've not had the chance to read it yet. Maybe I'll be able to at least give it a quick look. But I don't know. As much as I'd love to, I don't know. I don't want to necessarily poke too much fun at the less popular things in professional wrestling, or the worst in wrestling, as they call it there. But I don't know. We'll kind of kick things around as the hour goes on here. So, an interesting note from this past Monday. For those who missed the segment, backstage on Raw, Bayley talking to Golden Truth about how Dusty Rhodes had influenced her career, and she gave a Dusty Rhodes little stuffed bear, a little stuffed animal, as a gift to Goldust, complete with the black and yellow polka-dotted shirt, as Dusty was known for in the WWE. But a few seconds later, in come Carl Anderson and Luke Gallows, and those dastardly bullies. They entered the picture, and they ripped the head off of the bear, and a lot of people were up in arms about that, utilizing Dusty's legacy for a cheap negative reaction from the crowd. And I mean, part of the reason for it, as we all know, Dusty Rhodes had only passed about a year and a half ago, and even though Goldust was part of the skit and probably gave the okay for it, something tells me that a lot of other people kind of had that uncomfortable cringe, and one of those being Goldust's brother and Dusty's son, Cody Rhodes, who took to Twitter to address the use of his father's memory during that segment. He tweeted, quote, "Not going to say something mean or blow a whistle. All I can say is that whoever produced that, I hope they never know what this feels like. Appreciate all the kind words tonight and even the dissenting opinions. I turned something private to public. I'm not perfect. I just miss him." You're not the only one, and I'm sure that there's been debate all week as to whether that was a classy thing to do, or whether it was beyond the point of taste, and I guess how soon is too soon, or is it even something that you do? I mean, isn't there another way to elicit a reaction than to... I mean, it seems like we discuss this all the time whenever someone's death is utilized in something on television. I mean, we saw that with CM Punk and The Undertaker not too long after Paul Bearer had passed away, for example, back in 2013. So, I mean, I don't know. It's one of those, I think, ongoing debates that's never really going to have an answer, unfortunately. But some good news for the American dream, if you will. He, along with Paul Orndorff, that's right, two of pro wrestling's most memorable figures, will be inducted into the George Tragos Lou Thez Professional Wrestling Hall of Fame. That's right, Dusty Rhodes and Mr. Wonderful Paul Orndorff. Got to get that theme in there. Will be inducted on the weekend of July 20th to the 22nd. 2005 inductee and president of the selection committee, Jerry Briscoe, saying the Tragos Thez Hall of Fame weekend continues to build every year. I'm excited that Paul and Dusty will be recognized for their significant achievements in professional wrestling. This is a huge honor for both. Now, Paul Orndorff, as you may or may not know, made his wrestling debut back in 1976 with stints in Continental Wrestling Association, Mid-Atlantic Championship Wrestling, Southeastern Championship Wrestling, Georgia Championship Wrestling, as well as Mid-South Wrestling in New Japan, NJPW. Mr. Wonderful Paul Orndorff made his WWE debut in 1984, participated in the original WrestleMania main event against Hulk Hogan and Mr. T, of course teaming with Roddy Piper. Following his stint in WWE, he competed in WCW and Smoky Mountain Wrestling, and was also a football standout in the University of Tampa before a one-year stint in the World Football League. Now, Dusty Rhodes, he made his debut back in 1967. During the 70s, he competed in the AWA, WWF, and throughout the NWA territories, including being a three-time NWA champion. The American Dream left the NWA in late 89, returned to the WWE with rivalries with the Big Boss Man, Macho King Randy Savage, and Million Dollar Man Ted DiBiase. And after winding down his in-ring career, Rhodes was involved behind the scenes with NXT, helping train a new generation of competitors, and as mentioned, had passed away back on June 11th of 2015. Distinguished guests confirmed to appear at the induction ceremony include Jerry Briscoe, Jim Ross, J.J. Dillon, both Killer Bees, Jumpin' Jim Brunzell and B. Brian Blair, Larry the Axe Hennig, Baron von Raschke, Wade Keller, the wrestling journalist, William Murdoch, Rob Schamberger, Matt Riddle, and Charlie Thez. The reason Riddle's going to be there, a new event for 2017, the Hall of Fame Classic, presented by Impact Pro Wrestling. It's a one-day tournament that'll be on Friday, July 21st, in addition to the evening professional wrestling show. And it's an invitational featuring 8 of the best wrestlers in the world and former UFC fighter and Monster Factory alum Yeah, I had to throw that in there. Matt Riddle is the first participant announced. The other 7 participants will be announced as they are confirmed. So congrats to Matt Riddle for making the field, and that should be a fun Hall of Fame weekend, to say the least. Let's go ahead and get over to the phones where we've got John calling in. John, welcome to Pro Wrestling Weekly.
Hey, Fearon, how you doing?
Oh, not too bad. Long time no talk. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you, too. And, based off of my social media, it's been quite busy for me for the past couple of months, so it's just been...
True, yes. Congratulations are bound in your direction for your pending nuptials, I believe I saw on there.
Absolutely. Appreciate that.
Now, did you pull the Savage and do the slow, will you marry me? Okay, maybe not.
Maybe not, but I certainly felt like I was going in slow motion. That's the same. Sure. But no, it's been great. I just been, life just had its moments this year, and it's just been a little, some things catch you off guard, and it's just one of those things in life that happens, and that was certainly, the highlight of the year for me, and, I had a bit of a health scare earlier this year with my father, and we were able to get through that, so...
Yeah, I can hear you on that from the matriarchal side. I know I had one of those back in April.
Yeah, I mean, just life catches you sometimes, and you just got to stand up to it, but it was great, and I appreciate that. But, yeah, I figured I'd put the wrestle crap up there because, we always talk about the year review, whatever the year is.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's one of those things, but I know they put the list, I don't know if it was before Raw or after Raw, but I think certainly after that little shot Stephanie McMahon took this past during her...
Oh, actually, I was going to say, it's good that you mentioned that because I've got that right here for those who might have missed it.
So if you guys could keep that up for about 2 minutes and 15 seconds, you'd last 1 second longer than Punk did.
Nice little jab there at the Chicago crowd, who are almost as notorious for chanting CM Punk as Philadelphia crowds are for chanting ECW.
Yeah, incidentally, but also too, I think the numbers 2, 1, and 5. You add that up, it's still fewer wins than the Bears got. But she selected,
and the Eagles for that matter.
Well, that's
exactly.
Tomorrow, if Sproles is retiring, then you got another hole in the offense there.
Yeah.
But she said 2 minutes and 15 seconds, 2:15, and then you start thinking about that number. It's like, okay, is she referencing the Raw rating number as of late? Because when I checked, to me, I thought that was really juvenile, and I know that a lot of fans, that we hear it, and we certainly see it, about fans doing the chants, the hijack promos. It's funny when fans do it. I mean, when they were doing the Fandango song, or if they were really getting into Jericho's pop, and they were really, they were just singing the theme songs, they're wrestlers, and they were just really, it's really funny, because you get to see their reactions, the wrestlers' reactions, and how they handle it. Yeah, it's disruptive at times, but when you have really slow moments in the shows, which has been really rampant as of late, whether it's you're bringing back wrestlers from the 90s, like Goldberg and so forth, and you bring back Brock Lesnar, who wrestles once every blue moon, it adds some excitement to it. It gets people talking about it. But I just thought that she should have just walked away from that. To trash the fans like that in his hometown like that, especially with a guy who, when he was there, knew how to work the mic, knew how to cut promos, and when the ratings were good when he was there. I think fans would explode if he were to come back. But again, it's just another sign that they just really don't know what they're doing when it comes to handling that situation. But again, he has to express interest too.
Yeah, that's where I think the difference is. I mean, if he were to ever come back, I think it's going to be a very long time. Almost probably longer than Bret Hart's stint after Montreal. And that was 13 years. They say never in the wrestling business, but this is right up there with redacted in 2004 of the World Championship from WrestleMania 20, where that's I think the level that we're talking here as far as highly unlikely.
If he wants to really do something, like if he can come back wearing a Jim McMahon jersey with the metal plate underneath it, and then Goldberg can spear him, and then WWE will act like that's new and inventive. when Bret Hart and
I definitely remember that angle. No, I think a little bit of it too was when Punk had his UFC debut and it didn't exactly go as well as he had hoped. At the time, WWE kind of they slow played it. They were silent. They didn't give any pot shots or whatever. They probably waited until the next time WWE was going to be live on TV in Chicago and thought, all right, we'll just kind of keep this in our back pocket. If they start chanting Punk's name, here's what we'll throw out at them. So I have a hunch that this wasn't something that just was off the cuff. I think this was something that was probably planned for a couple of months. And they knew, okay, in case of Punk chant this, you know, in case of emergency, break glass. In case of Punk chant, here's the line.
Yeah, in case of emergency, use Bender. You know, it's just one of those things. Love that reference from Futurama.
See, being down at the MFPW for so long and having a wrestler down there named Bender, I mean, we've had him on the show here. It takes me a second to go, oh, wait, we're not talking about the wrestler. We're talking about the Futurama character.
Yeah, every time he was on, I always had to put Futurama references on the Facebook.
Oh, of course.
Had to do. But, yeah, I mean, I think, especially after last night, I think you got a better shot of seeing Ronda Rousey now in the WWE after that destruction. I think you'll see Ronda in the WWE a lot sooner than you would see CM Punk, if ever again. But it's just, you know, I don't know, I think they're still a little unhealthily obsessed with mixed martial arts, considering I think, the popularity to me, I just don't understand it with UFC anymore. I don't know, I just got a little detached from it, but it was just a really mediocre, average at best year overall for wrestling. Whether it's
I mean, there was some good and some bad.
Oh, yeah, it was very balanced, but it wasn't, like, it didn't really stand out. Like, it didn't have, like one defining moment that really stood out to me. Obviously, a few years back when, you know, Lesnar beat the Taker streak, that, you know...
That was the thing everybody talked about. I mean, now, I mean, I don't know if, I mean, for example, Goldberg dominating Lesnar at the Survivor Series, if that's... I don't know. I mean, his return was it's weird. We've had a lot of notable returns. I mean, Goldberg, Shane McMahon back for the first time in close to a decade.
That would probably be it, because that was a really loud response, and the fans were really in that. Plus, Shane always brings some kind of an energy and really interesting, really fun to watch. Or the quote-unquote confrontation that Miz and Daniel Bryan had on Talking Smack. That's something that got a lot of people really... I was
going to say, did you read my notes or something? I mean, these are both things that I have audio on, so it's just... So, yeah, it's... I mean, I was going to say, at this point, I don't know if I'll have all of them necessarily, but, I mean, we'll at least give you a little bit of the... I mean, listen for yourself as far as the reaction to Shane McMahon's return going back to February 22nd on Raw.
It is my pleasure to introduce to you the recipient of the Vincent James McMahon Legacy of Excellence Award to Stephanie McMahon.
Awesome. I wasn't expecting this. Who else would you expect? It's a Legacy Award.
I almost feel like it was a double reaction. Like, the first was kind of bewilderment, like, no, it couldn't really. They were almost waiting for some sort of a swerve. And then when he actually stepped out there, the crowd amped up another level.
Yeah, it was kind of like the night after the Montreal Screwjob when, you know, they played Bret Hart's music, and we all know what happened after that.
Yeah, but I think by that point, people weren't used to necessarily being swerved, for lack of a better term.
Oh, yeah, totally. It caught people way off guard. I think that would be the moment And the only reason I know that your notes is I actually borrowed one of those drones in the final deletion.
Oh, there you go. One of the 7 drones.
Yeah. Although
we can't use that to find where Twitch is. Hashtag where is Twitch or hashtag Twitch Finder. I like that.
Twitch Finder. Yes.
There we go. The latest app.
Yeah, all the latest craze. It's like Pokemon Go or Super Mario Run.
Oh, I was going to say, Pokemon Go was another thing from 2016 that took everybody apparently but me by storm. Haven't played a second of it.
Now that I got the Apple Watch, it's like, do I really want to set it up as a Pokedex? Do I really want to do that? Or do I want to set up Apple Pay so I can go in and out of the Wells Fargo when Raw comes to town? You know what, I'll do neither. I'll just leave it alone. Watch it on TV.
There you go. Wow. But I was going to say, one other thing, you mentioned The Miz on Talking Smack, but I think probably one of the other heartstring-tugging moments had to have been from earlier in this year, and actually 2 weeks before Shane McMahon's return, and the announcement of Daniel Bryan's retirement.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Because it was, we've talked about his health issues for so long. Up until that point, it was just, is it going to happen? When's it going to happen? Will it be at Mania? Will he be even performing at Mania? It was kind of like when Edge came out the night after Mania and dropped the belt because he couldn't do it anymore. But
yeah, I think that spear on SmackDown to Brodus Clay was the straw that broke the camel's back. If you go back and look at that, well, in this case, not saying it Edge is a camel, but it was the straw that broke Edge's back. Basically, when he hit that spear, his head pretty much went right into the gut of Brodus Clay, and that just, I guess, whatever that did to the vertebrae of the spine, that's what created that. And next thing you know, he's got to have surgery. I think on the C3 to C6 vertebrae.
Yeah, it was essentially he basically speared a man who is essentially a 400 pound wall of muscle that goes on Fox News and owns their reporters.
Yeah, pretty much.
And goes on YouTube with some really cool throwback video game references, which I really like. He's got his little following there on YouTube, and he does a little bit of it on Instagram as well. But another guy that could have been used so much better, and they just completely and totally dropped the ball on him. Yeah,
you were expecting one-man gang, and you got Akeem. That's pretty much what Brodus Clay was the modern version of.
Yeah, they made like a 2000s version of Coming to America. If that was something that would, basically just the overacting and the uncomfortableness. But his talent was there. It's just they turned fans off. It was like basically a 4 times bigger version of Fandango, but burned out just as quick.
Yeah, that's scarily accurate. Anyway, John, I was going to say I'm up against a break, but thank you so much for chiming in, and Happy New Year, and congrats on the upcoming nuptials.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it. Happy New Year to you as well, and you know where to find me. Just hit me up on Facebook, and we'll do some chat.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's long overdue, but you know me, I'm constantly bouncing around between here and the shoot job and training at the factory.
Yeah, owning guys. Owning them at the factory. Everybody should get on down.
We'll see. If nothing else, you can look on YouTube at, Monster Factory Pro TV. A lot of the matches, pretty much all the matches since June 11th, the events that we've had, I've been their play-by-play commentator for. So you can hear a little bit more of me calling the action and kind of, I guess, continuing the tradition of the show, since I know that Eric Gargiulo prior to me had done some stuff with Combat Zone Wrestling, and I think I'm taking it at least a little bit step further, and we'll see if, at least at some point, you might actually see me in the ring. Who knows?
I'll give you a little bounce pass here, and I'll tip on out. What are our good friends over at the Goblet Brewery doing today?
Oh, it's funny you should ask that. Well, thank you so much, Sean. It's funny that you should ask. It's amazing how you just lobbed that up for me. Hopefully I won't. I don't know enough about the Sixers to make a bad joke about that. Anyway, what they are doing is they're going to be open today from noon to 5 for the holiday. So if you have any last-minute needs as far as handling the stress of the holidays, they're certainly there for you over at the Broken Goblet Brewery, 1500 Grundy's Lane in Bristol, PA. Gives you just enough time to get a last-minute bottle as a gift or to perhaps celebrate come midnight tonight when the ball drops and the calendar turns to 2017. Or you could also fill up the growler as well. Plus, back on tap for a limited time, they're Carl the Great, a 10.5% Russian Imperial Stout. And now on sale, the latest in their Lonely Mountain series, Bomber. It's the third of what's planned to be a 15-bottle series involving different characters from The Hobbit, which I know nothing about. But I do know that this beer is fantastic, the Bomber. It's a 13% barley wine. It's just $18 a bottle. It's always a good time at the Broken Goblet Brewery, 1500 Grundy's Lane in Bristol, PA. Broken Goblet Brewing, the semi-official brewery of Pro Wrestling Weekly. Please enjoy responsibly. Coming back, we've got more stuff in less than 10 minutes to do it in here on Pro Wrestling Weekly on 1490 WBCB and online at WBCB1490.com.
Hello, this is Vince Sirianni from GMH Mortgage and your host to Opening Doors to Real Estate and Finance. Inviting you to join me and my co-host, Gary Castle, broker-owner of Berkshire Hathaway Home Services, Keystone Properties. Every Thursday morning, 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. here on 1490 WBCB. And also Sunday mornings, 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. on 610 Sports Radio. Opening Doors to Real Estate and Finance, helping you acquire your dream home.
All commentators heard on WBCB express their own views. Their opinions are not necessarily those of others on WBCB, including the staff and management.
It's the fastest hour on radio. Independence Blue Cross presents Bill Clement's Hockey World. That's me. We're live from Chickies and Pete's Wednesdays at 6 p.m. right here on 1490 WBCB.
You won't see termites crawling across your floor, but thousands might be devouring the wood in your walls, weakening the structure of your home. For over 50 years, termite proofing and pest control of the Delaware Valley has been in the exterminating business. If you think you have a pest problem, they're the experts. Call them today at 215-639-5455. That's 215-639-5455 for TPPC. Termite proofing and pest control of the Delaware Valley gives your home or business peace of mind, knowing your pest problem is in their hands. Located at 1560 Bristol Pike in Bensalem, they use only EPA-approved material applied by licensed technicians. Call Termite Proofing and Pest Control of the Delaware Valley at 215-639-5455.
Pro Wrestling Weekly presents Today in Wrestling History, December 31. On this... Oh, here we go again. Wait. You mean actually have to do it this time? Fine. You asked for it. On this date in 1989, New Japan Pro Wrestling held its New Japan in USSR card. In the main event, Salman Hashimikov pinned Manny Fernandez. On this date in 2007, Hustle Pro Wrestling held its New Year Festival Supercard. In the main event, HG and Wataru Sakata defeated Giant Silva and Scott Norton in a tag team match. On this date in 2011, Juggalo Championship Wrestling held its New Year's Ninja Party. In the main event, Too Tough Tony and Shockwave the Robot defeated the Headbangers in a tag team match. This has been Today in Wrestling History, December 31. Welcome back to Pro Wrestling Weekly here on 1490 WBCB and online at WBCB1490.com. Fearon Derry here with you for the last time, the last segment of 2016, at least as far as Pro Wrestling Weekly goes. We'll get into that favorite time in just a moment, but one more memory from 2016. We talked a little bit about it, and here we go. Some tears of both sadness and joy, courtesy of one Daniel Bryan, better known as Bryan Danielson, or also known as Bryan Danielson. I had it backwards. Yeah, here's something from his retirement speech.
I have gotten to do what I love for nearly 16 years. I am grateful. Now, tomorrow morning, I start a new life. A life where I am no longer a wrestler. But that is tomorrow, and that is not tonight. And by damn, I have one more night to feel this energy and to feel this crowd. So if I could just get one last yes chant, I would really appreciate it.
Right in the feels. Oh, right in the feels. All right. Who's cutting onions here in the studio? Man. Oh, wow. All right. So, yeah, as I've said, it's been a very interesting year, both professionally here in professional wrestling as well as here at WBCB. All kinds of craziness going on with the MFPW, and who would have thought that I'd be training to be a wrestler? Who would have thought that there's a lot of who'd have thoughts, that's for sure. And it's been a lot of fun. It's certainly been very taxing as well. And who knows what else will occur here? And how about that? Mike Samsel making a rare appearance here at the station, although he's giving me the wave off. I don't think he wants to come into the studio, probably because he knows there's only about 3 minutes left in the show. Oh, well. Maybe I'll have the chance to get a quick chat with him off the air. Anyway, speaking of the MFPW, before that ever-brief interruption by Samsel there, at least at his presence. Lots of happenings, including next Saturday, January 7th, I'll be broadcasting Pro Wrestling Weekly live from down there. And later that night, Major McClendon will be defending the MF Live Championship against Sage Matthews. And Mikey Webb puts his Supersonic Championship against the number one contender, Dobbs, along with his new manager, Rocco. Plus, what's next for Triple M, Mind, Muscle, and Money as they have acquired the MFPW Heavyweight Championship from Punishment, Damian Martinez. Triple M, of course, being Peyton Foles, Chad Kensington, and Royal Money, along with the heavyweight champion, Cody Vance. Well, we'll find out next Saturday, January 7th, the MFPW Arena, 541 Mantua Avenue in Paulsboro, New Jersey. Doors open at 6. The action starts at 7. Tickets are available now at eventbrite.com. And check out the MFPW and all things Monster Factory on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Instagram, plus at monsterfactory.org. Make sure to check out past matches, bios, bloopers, and more at the mfnetwork.com, including for this weekend only. You can check out the last event in its entirety, the December 10th event, for free on the mfnetwork.com. And don't forget Factory Fridays, the 18 and older alternative to the MFPW. It's a little more raucous and a little less family-friendly, actually a lot less family-friendly. Next event is Friday, January 13th, and the admission is free to those at the same location. Doors open at 8:30. The action starts at 9 for that. So we've got about 2 minutes left here, and that means, of course, that it is time for... Lucas, where the... That's right, we've got the Twitch finder still. All right, I'll do it myself. Birthdays! That's right. On this date in 1974, Ryan Sakota was born. The former WWE Tag Team competitor, along with Akio, known as Sakota, turns 42 today. Sakota was among those who attempted to file the class action lawsuit against WWE regarding wrestlers and brain injuries, but in March of this year, the suit was dismissed. Also on this date in 1974, Zuki was born. The Mexican luchador enmascarado, or masked professional wrestler, known under many names but best known stateside here for his WWF stint as Max Mini, also turns 42 today. Had a nice little run there in 97 and 98 with a few matches on various pay-per-views. And on this date in 1980, Matthew Capiccioni was born. The former Ring of Honor and WWE Tough Enough competitor, now working for Lucha Underground, best known as Matt Cross, turns 36 today. And finally, the Brucey bonus. On this date in 1977, Park Jae-sang was born. The South Korean singer, rapper, songwriter, and record producer, best known as Psy, the artist who brought the viral hit Gangnam Style. That's right, turns 39 today. Gangnam Style, which was released in June of 2012, is still the most viewed video on YouTube with over 2.7 billion views. That's right, billion with a B. Yeah, you remember it out there. You remember doing the little dance there, the Gangnam Style dance. So there we go. What a way to end 2016 by partying like it's 2012. Shows how behind the times I am. Anyway, thank you to all who have tuned in, and looking forward to more fun, entertainment, and otherwise in 2017. And until next weekend, next year, play us out, Nutsy.
1 o'clock and all's well.
Serving you better than ever before. This is 1490 WBCB.